So tell me, you have a very interesting profile. I saw there. You've authored a book. It's called After 5 p.m. You're a productivity and documentation expert. Yeah. How did all these come to life?
Okay, let me share a brief story to you. Growing up, I'd always wanted to, there's always been this thing about me about being productive, seeing people get better, seeing record keeping. I'm a very, very good record keeper. And then I found out that most of the things we suffer in Africa today is because we don't have our own stories out there. So we get to find out that most of the things we know, even our parents knew, are from those things that, in quotes, the British sold to us. And you find out that this is a problem because people are beginning to understand that our stories are kind of different. Our stories are different, our stories are unique. And then, so these are the things that gave birth to me doing what I'm doing today. And I love it. It's something I'm passionate about. And that's why at the center of it all, you will see Africa in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm very curious because I'm going to share these with target audiences, especially is a majority is the young people. And I mean,
okay.
How does what you do helping entrepreneurs and all that, and organizations to give pride of place to documentation and that and productivity? How does that speak to how the youth of Africa can harness their potentiality that is in them?
Okay. So quick one. Just like what we have seen over the past few months around the COVID-19 issue, you see a lot of persons, a lot of workers, employees and employers are beginning to sit back home to, most of them realize their potentials during this lockdown. Most of them even saw that they could even be more productive. You don't have to just go down to the office to be productive. Most of people began to, discover themselves and what they could do. Most people fell in love with themselves again by being you. You're just yourself. Before, people were afraid of staying at home. People were afraid of staying just to themselves. There is this popular saying, having meeting me, myself, and I. And then you now realize that companies are even beginning to see that, oh, I think the cost of us, our operations could reduce by people working remotely. And when we monitor them, they're going to be more efficient. So the question becomes, how do we structure those businesses to be more productive? How do we also monitor the employees to work from home and yet they are productive and yet they are also happy and fulfilled? And at the end of the month or the day, they get their paycheck. And then in Africa, generally, Africans are beginning to also discover themselves, the solutions they can offer comes from China. Africans began to say, okay, just like in Nigeria, most of the face masks and nose masks we wear are locally produced, but normally we should have gotten or ordered from China.
Yeah.
So you will discover that we are beginning to sit down to see how we can be more efficient, effective with ourselves, loving our stories, and beginning to document how we're able to overcome the crisis and how we're able to move forward. So
Wow.
it's a thing of, number one, as an individual, you begin to sit down with yourself to say, okay, these are my strengths. I can be more productive in this. So what are the tools out there that can help me to become more productive as I want? If you're an employer, you ask the question, how do I get my team to be more productive? Even while working remotely, you even find out that you spend less because a whole lot of infrastructure and costs that go around human resources. You begin to see trainings can even be done online without hosting the person. So a whole lot of factors around operations and costs. These are the areas of productivity that I'm looking at. As per the areas of putting the right structure, which is documentation and business structure. How do we structure our businesses, our churches, our local organization, whoever, our families, to become more productive, yield more results, and grow more? So these are the things I'm looking at and how it can benefit Africans.
Wow, that is very awesome and very good of you. Yeah. And as a person, do you work with organizations and entrepreneurs just in Nigeria or the rest of Africa?
Yeah, some countries in Africa. I work with some of the young people in young entrepreneurs. Rwanda. I work with Somalia. I have people I also work with at Ethiopia.
All right.
And some countries there in Ghana here, and mostly in Nigeria.
All right, because I was going to ask you, as a person who's worked with organizations, all these teams that are doing business and all that. So I mean, have we seen that? Are we seeing that synergy? Because at the end of the day, what would bring joy to us all would be like a prosperous Africa that would be sustainable in our manufacturing, in all the sectors of our economy. I mean, is that something, as a person who you work closely with all these in these all parts? As in, have you seen the synergy that we're really working towards like a brighter tomorrow?
A little. I was discussing with a friend of mine a few days ago. Oh, I even forgot, today is his birthday. And he said something. He said, he asked a question, what is wrong with Africans? And I told him, well, apart from, yes, it's true that we have leadership issues across almost all the African nations, almost all the African countries. You see one leadership defect or the other. But one thing we are just beginning to embrace is looking inwards. We are no longer trying to import ideas, import solutions. We're not just trying to import goods and services. We are beginning to see how our cross-Africans in different general sectors should begin to synergize, work together. Secondly, before now, what you will hear is, let's say, African-China Summit, right? You hear, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go on. Yeah.
Okay, so you hear African-China Summit.
Yes.
You will hear African-London Summit. You will hear African-USA Summit. And all those summits, none have been hosted in Africa.
Look at that.
And so, yeah, so you see most people exporting. You see, when you want to go to African-China Summit, you travel, you buy goods there, you eat there, you lodge there. That is their infrastructure growing and the economy growing. Why don't we begin to host, okay, if it's African-China Summit, and let's bring it down here.
Just to cut you short, I think I read sort of like a similar analogy that how comes we have like a China-Africa Summit, I don't know, the UK-Africa Summit. Why don't you have specific countries? Because Africa has 54 countries. Why can't we have China, I don't know, Nigeria or Egypt or Morocco or Kenya or South Africa? I mean, why are they putting Africa like sort of like one thing, but them they do as a small, they can't do Africa and Asia. They just do like a country like China, for example.
It just like I was saying earlier, is a big question for us, and it's a challenge we must tackle if we must begin to look inwards and become more productive and more industrialized, appreciating our own stories, appreciating our own resources. We have enough. We have wonderful brains. You could imagine that Africa is losing through a lot of brain drain. If you notice, we're exporting our best, and then no one is coming in to say, okay, let's do African and African summit. For example, Nigeria and Ghana summit, Kenya and Nigerian summit, Gambia and Nigerian summit, Rwanda and Kenya summit. Let's do our own thing internally. That's what I think. And with that, it will be more productive. We'll begin to appreciate our resources the more. So we're not going to get the desired result immediately, of course. It's going to take some time, which I agree. But let's start from somewhere.
Yeah, true. I really could not agree more. But I mean, again, they always say, you know, there's a part in Chinua Achebe's book, Things Fall Apart, where one of the characters poses a question that, show me the young suckers who will take over when the old banana dies. And I always love to contextualize this to mean the young people who, I mean, they are the people, they are that frontier. They have the energy, we have the imagination, we can explore our energies and put all this together to build a prosperous Africa. I mean, what do you think in your take is the place of young people in getting to draw the prosperity of Africa closer, whether you're talking about the SDGs and having Africa really so high economically, socially, all that, politically?
Africans, young people, majority of us are doing a lot of amazing work out there. We even have young people that do a lot of SDG related goals or SDG related solutions more than any other continent. You found that at every point, you see most young people, it's either they are helping gender equality, or they're fighting poverty, or they're helping disability. You're doing most people in Africa, they are doing that. And you begin to wonder, but the problem has always been, most of us do that for aid purposes. We want to get donors. And then most of the donors that we get are not Africans. How many donors that support those SDG activities we do are Africans? Most of them are foreigners from other continents. From Bill Gates to, just name them, there are many. They fund African solutions. And remember that anybody that funds you dictates what you do. So it begins, now we are answerable to their agenda, not our own agenda. But if you, as an African, I have one or two things, solutions I provide, and you say, okay, that you're a donor, you're an investor, you want to invest or you want to donate to my organization or to my cause, you will feel the pain I feel because you're an African. And it's easier for me to do the things I want to do for the African soil. But if you're a foreigner, you don't understand where it pains me. You only read it, you only heard it over the media. You don't understand what it takes for me to have that pain. So most times, young people in Africa, we are doing a lot. I can't say we even have the highest ratio compared to other continents of young people doing amazing stuff under the SDGs. In fact, all the SDGs have been covered by Africans. But the problem is that leadership has made it so difficult for us to get the desired results. Let's say you're fighting poverty. It's not just enough for you to do that. There should be a leadership ratio to support the work I'm doing, so that the work I'm doing can see light, or the light of the day. So our problem is just one thing, mainly leadership. A lot of young persons in Africa are doing amazing work. All of us are pointing towards one area of the SDG or the other, or which is the last SDG, everybody is doing something. But it's not really having an amazing effect as it should because of the leadership issue in Africa. Just like African Union, there is no young leader there. And so it begins with the leadership and the political arena. We have a lot of political issues in Africa. We should write our own stories. Our own political climate is quite different, but yet we need to see more young people that will go into that corridor and make things better.
That is spot on and well put, Ijeoma. Now, myself, I'm a very avid reader of African history and all that, and I've read amazing chronicles of good leadership and the aspiration, for that matter, of, you know, our founding fathers, people like Kwame Nkrumah, people like Modibo Keita, you know, John Hastings Kamuzu Banda, Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere. I mean, these are the people. There's Abraham Tiro, there's the Burkina Faso, Thomas Sankara. You could see the drive, you could see the energy, you could see the passion. Now they wanted to transform the society, and that, I think, that is how that is once we agree that we as the young people, full of energy, we need to carry ourselves with that kind of vigor if you're going to really make like a better path towards what we all aspire.
Mm. So, but you're right. I agree with you, and I just feel young people get more into political leadership. It's at the center of everything we do. If not, we are going to suffer, because the economic independence we want is embedded into our political system. Because where there are no wonderful policies, do you know that we have a document called the African Roadmap? Okay,
Yep.
2030 and 2060. But unfortunately, the leaders are not following that. So I don't want to come here to start blaming the leaders. Let young people go out there and take up leadership positions in Africa. Let's see Africa as a continent, not a continent just in a book. No, let's see it as a continent where now we do business with each other. I buy from Kenya, you buy from Nigeria. You know, let's have visible policies that make us grow as a continent.
We really should learn to stand on our own feet. And indeed, as you've said,
Yeah.
there's a lot really we can do if we're going to do business across each other. I mean, we have a lot of tea in Kenya. You've West Africa, there's cocoa, there's all that. But I mean, you'd even be amazed that people in West Africa, they get the cocoa, take it to Europe, then come back as chocolate. They've never even eaten chocolate. I saw some documentary and I was like, my jaws dropped.
And do you even know that most countries that we farm chocolates, unfortunately, those farms have been bought up by foreigners.
You see?
And it's bad.
Yeah, indeed.
How do we move it to the next generation? What do we have that we can hand over to the next generation?
Indeed.
This is structure.
It's a good question.
The right structures. Yeah, let's put in the right structures into our systems to say, okay, this is what we have as Africans. And then there is a next generation coming. These are the things we can hand over to them. But we don't have now. Our lands have been bought over, companies bought over, farms bought over. I am a calm Afrocentric girl. I am so mad and centric about Africa. If you want to get to me, talk to me about Africa. If you want to get to me, say negative things about Africa. Man,
I can see the passion.
So I will lash it out on the person. So what I'm saying is, let's work together. African stroke Africa. Let's enjoy that love, that unity. I was asking a question on Facebook the other day to say, what can we do as Africans, seeing that the Asian continent is taking up economic leadership? What can we do?
Good question.
Africa should be on the lead of economic leadership because most of the raw materials are gotten from us. But unfortunately, we don't know how to industrialize. We don't know how to mass produce our products. To take them and put it up into a finished point to sell. We sell the resources. For example, in Nigeria, do you know where I'm from? We have a lot of palm wine. And do you know that the palm wine are exported? And then when it's exported, they will use it to produce drugs because it's good for lactating mothers. So they use it to produce drugs and whatever and ship it back to us.
At a higher price, of course.
And a high price.
Oh, look at that.
Unfortunately, we can't even afford because the poor people cannot even afford. And yet, this is the same palm wine gotten from our farms and trees.
And you can take it yourself and add value to it.
And add value to it. So let's industrialize our process. And it begins with documentation. How? if we say this is how we produce palm wine, let's document the process of production and make research and document the process how we use it, turning it into a finished good before we sell anything out. We are so timid when we see other continents. Why? You see them, they bring papers, they write loan, and even the Bible, I'm a Christian, even the Bible said a borrower is a servant to the lender. We learn a lot from this continent and we remain indebted because they know we cannot pay. They know we are too selfish to pay. So what we want is fund. We don't read the documents that have been presented to us to say, no, we don't want this, we want this, we want. And so a lot of things, they come, if I tell you what I see daily, when people come to it, they'll just behave anyhow. Other people from other continents. I love humanity generally, but I love Africans more. So let's do the right thing.
Wow. I really can see you burning with passion for Africa. And I do wish every other young person would embrace this, indeed would blossom and really grow and just be proud to call Africa home. Yeah, so this has really been an insightful conversation, Ijeoma. And even as we go ahead, I don't know what the future holds for us. Yeah, as we march ahead with our affairs as Africa, I don't know what does the future hold for us, especially we as the young people. What can we do, especially to secure it again?
What we can do, number one, let's begin to see ourselves more as value-added personalities, more than seeing ourselves as the people who will only take loans and aid from other continents. Number two, let's begin to value our resources and begin to mastermindedly industrialize our resources. Number three, the signed African trade agreement is a good one. Let's begin to see that this the African Continental Trade Agreement is functioning effectively. Number three, let's see more young people take up political leadership. Young females, young males, let's take up political leadership and take this thing out of these greedy folks. They don't care about we Africans. They want to enslave Africans again. And you know, the highest form of slavery is the economic form of slavery. So what they want to do is take us by the hand, enslave us, and everything is gone.
So there you go. Just share a word of motivation to any African youth.
The last thing I want to say is, as African youths, we must begin to tell our own stories. We must begin to write our own stories. We must begin to see how we can take up political leadership, which is the center of it all. And then, generally about life, I just feel let's document more of our process and have something to hand over to the next generation. Thank you.
Wow, interesting. That is, I love that. That is straight to the point. And I hope this will really spark that thirst to make a difference in to every young person, wherever they are in the stretch of Africa. So Ijeoma, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And you really shared quite remarkable insights here.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you stay safe back in Nigeria, and I hope to talk to you soon.
You too. Continue to have those great smiles.
Thank you. Bye-bye.